this is a redo because I had a much better idea to present this concept. Hi, I'm Valerie Ling. I'm a clinical psychologist, and I want to talk to you about Jurassic Park versus Taronga Zoo. And it really depends on which reality you live in and the kind of background that you come from. So depending on your life situation, there's probably a body of research that would suggest that 70% of us probably grew up in a kind of Taronga Zoo, and 30% of us probably grew up in a type of Jurassic Park. And what this means is that, well, first of all, let's talk about how it imprisons you. So there are levels of thought that really influence the way that we feel and we live. There are the automatic thoughts. Often they're the ones that pop up and they were conscious of, and they're quite repetitive. They're like, so if you're feeling a bit down and you might send a text message to a friend and then you don't get a response, right? And this is an Achilles heel for me. Like, why is there no response? Like, send me an emoji or something at least. And you think, oh, far out, they're too busy, they don't care for me. Right, so that could be a sad thought. The angry thought could be, oh, you're rotten so-and-so, how rude, not even responding. That could be your angry emotion, right? Or you could have a neutral emotion, which is like, oh, they must be in the toilet. Now, depending on how you grew up, and the kind of life experiences you would have, if you grew up in the Taronga Zoo version, which is, there are some scary animals, but you're safe. There are people around you to protect you. By and large, nothing really bad is going to happen, versus the Jurassic Park version, which is the dinosaurs are out. You can't predict when they're going to come and get you. And really, other than the herbivores, they're all pretty much out to get you. And so, herbivores? Yeah. And so that's your first level of thought. Now, if you tunnel down a bit more, there is a level of thought called core beliefs. Now, these are the kinds of, they're rules, really. They're what, if this happens, then this. Or if I do this, then this will happen. Now, these are a set of beliefs that we often use to govern our lives so that we can live in a predictable and safe way. So the rules might be, if I send out a message and my friend doesn't get back to me, then I'm going to feel sad and stay home. Or if I send a message to my friend and my friend doesn't get back to me, I'm going to send them back a message to tell them what I think. Right, so they're kind of rules that we have that are based on usually beliefs about how lovable we are, whether we are worthy, and some extent whether we are competent and able to get on with our life in a way that is capable, generally speaking. Now, underneath that, and this is where the Jurassic Park comes in, are very often some scripts that we have for ourselves that we're not even aware of. And they tend to come in packs. You know those raptors in Jurassic Park? I can't watch Jurassic Park once they come out because they're so clever. And they have strategy, they work together. Well, very often we have a set of scripts that we're not aware of. There are some scripts about how vulnerable we are. There are some scripts about how bigger people, whether they are authority figures or whether they are people who are influential in our world, how they're going to criticize us, how they're going to punish us. And then there are very often some mechanisms that we have for ourselves to keep ourselves safe that may actually sabotage us, right? So imagine if you had a core script that people who love you will abandon you. Well, you're probably not going to take risks and put yourself out there in relationships. You may play your cards really, really safe. Whatever those scripts are, you're going to interact with the world and your relationships in a way that actually confirms your scripts, right? So it's like a Jurassic Park situation because the raptors, they work together. Those beliefs, those unseen beliefs, they work together to push you into a corner. And some of us, when we're vulnerable, we will be we will, we will cry and be with emotion. Some of us will feel anxious. Some of us will attack. Some of us will freeze. Some of us will be driven to please because we've learned that that's the way to keep ourselves safe from the raptors. So just be aware that you could be living in a reality that comes from a history. And that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It just means that we probably just need to have a look at your history and figure out where the raptors are keeping you in prison, if you like, and reset that. Help you to rewrite some of those scripts. Get out of Jurassic Park, back into Taronga Zoo, where some of the bad animals are in cages, and you can, have the choice and the freedom to browse the other friendly, cute animals, if you like. That's really the role of therapy. That's where seeing a psychologist can be a really, really helpful thing. So I'll leave you with those thoughts.